Alright, I messed that one up. I had to do these in two different videos. So I'll label one, radiator 2. I'm on the right-hand side of the motorcycle, and this is the overflow or the reservoir. So there's the radiator was on that side with the fill that I went over on the first one. And then this is where the reservoir is. Wow, really hard to get in there. I couldn't film it while I took it apart because I needed both my hands. But basically this plastic piece, just to simulate, wow, and there was nothing, this thing's dry as a bone. But anyways, this plastic piece is over it like this piece right here. And it has, I think it was just two of these. I think it was just being held on by two of these things, two of these fasteners. So I took two of these off, plastic piece comes off, and there's, oh, come on. So there's one. Oh, my lighting just stinks today. There's one place where it fastened, there's another one. And then there's, I just noticed there's this, you know, full, and come on, help me out, son. And then there's low, and full, and this thing was beyond low. So I noticed the bike was overheating a little while ago, but this is a 07 Gen 1, and I have no idea when this was ever changed. So some of the other more detailed videos, they actually take this off all the way and they clean it out because there's some sediment and stuff that will be flowing down there. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to pause it again. Hopefully be able to, I might just take that, I just might take that off and wash it out now actually. Let me pause this. So what I just did, so I took this off all the way, I rinsed it out real good, cleaned it out real good. There wasn't a lot of debris in it, but this thing was like virtually empty when I took it off. Bad on me. You know, I bought the bike 3 or 4 years ago. It's an 07. It's probably the first time this has even gotten to this extent. I'm gonna have to get to drain the rest of the coolant. I'm gonna have to take off. This is gonna be not this piece. This is the highway pegs, and this is assembled differently altogether than the skid plate, the Happy Trail skid plate. Unfortunately for me, as the YouTube videos go, whether this be a stock or aftermarket skid plate, that skid plate has to come off to drain the coolant. So I'm gonna pause again. I'm really not gonna videotape me undoing bolts. This isn't bolt 101 video, so let me do that and I'll get back to this right when I'm ready to drain it. I'll put the pan underneath and I'll probably be doing the oil at the same time. All right, actually before I go any further, I want to point something out. So I added the center stand. If you can see it, there's the center stand, and then the kickstop. As you guys are looking at this video, the kickstop the kickstand is off to the right of the video, obviously on the left hand side of the rider. But the center stand is great to do maintenance on, but I just realized if you come underneath here, it's got to, all the videos I saw, everyone had for the draining of the oil and draining of the coolant, they had it on the kickstand. And I thought, well, why would they do that? Well, number one, for the oil, see if I can get in there right, the oil drain plug is right there, and I could get to it, but if I did, that means that all the oil is going to drip onto the center stand. It's not going to be a clear shot. It's probably really hard to see on the video, but the center stand comes off at an angle. It comes in front of the bolt where it would drain. So now I'm hitting that. There's no place to put the pan. And there's the kickstand. And then not only that, this whole skid plate has to come off anyways to get to the coolant. So that might be a different angle you could see it at. But so I'm going to have to actually take it off of the center stand to go any further with the oil change and the coolant change. So I got to do that next. Take it off the center stand. Okay, so I got it off the center stand, and trying to move my work around here for a second. So it's off the center stand. Now you see how that center stand can't be there because the pan can't be there at the same time. So with this breaker bar I have, with this angle, I'm just going to go ahead and do the oil now. So 17 millimeter socket. Got it on a breaker bar. Let me think. Tight, loose, tight. It's gotta come this way. It's kind of weird doing it upside down. I've done the oil before. I've changed the oil and oil filter on this before when I was in Minnesota. Before my last Route 66 trip that ended in Oklahoma. Man, the whole bike's moving. Crap. Oh, excuse me. Excuse the language there. Okay. Okay, here it comes. Held on there pretty good. I'll use a torque. I got my torque wrenches here, so I'll use my torque when I put it back on. That's pretty dark oil. Still warm, not hot. It's not hot. I heated up the engine. I let it cool down for a bit. I apologize. You're gonna have to watch this for a while. I got oil all over my hands, but I'm gonna pause it, and I could probably do that right now. I'm gonna pause it, get to the next step. It looks like it's drained okay. The next thing I'm gonna do is going into the filter. So with 8mm socket here and here, I'm gonna pop that off. And once I have that off, I'll show you when I'm taking off the filter. But right now, it looks like it's just about done draining. I mean, I guess I'm putting these blue rags here to catch any residual oil that may come out when I take the filter out. There's my view window right there. You know, I could tilt it a little bit, I guess. See if that does anything as far as assisting the draining of the oil, which it really does not seem to. Take that back. It actually started going again. So I'm going to rock it back slightly back and forth so I can get more oil out of it. I'm going to pop that cover off with those 8mm nuts, or both that are holding it on, and then I'll pick back up and show you the filter, taking the filter out. Okay, so I got those 8mm off. Yesterday's video, when I did my tools, I showed you guys this little, not micro, but little small flathead screwdriver I keep in my tools. There are no really flathead fasteners on this whole bike itself. I might have some accessories that can utilize it, but this proved to be really good to be able to wedge in here and just crack the seal in between to pop off this little cap. Note this little arrow's pointing up. It has to be in the same orientation when I put it back on. That was put there for people like me that would inevitably put this on backwards, upside down or whatnot. Okay, this is going to be some really tricky one-handed stuff, so take off the cap. I'm going to put the cap on this cardboard and then take out the filter, and here it comes. Running down the side of the engine. Okay, so that's where I took the filter out. There's some residual oil in there. I'm gonna probably dab that out with some shop towels or something. A little bit's running down the side of the engine, catching onto that blue towel, and then here's the filter itself that I'm gonna swap out. So I'm gonna throw that away, but first, this little pin in the middle, that gets saved. What I just did, I just pushed it off with my finger that way, so it's coming up a bit. I don't want to get that saturated with, so I'm going to put this on the cardboard. Try to do this one-handed. Like I said, I'm low tech, but hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what's important to note is this little tapers down a bit. See that? That's the part that is going to go in first next time. So when I put it back in, the filters, of course, is going to be on it. So if I can get some good lighting in here. There we go. It's going to sit like that. Voila. Yeah, I decided to put my latex gloves on. So this, I'm going to set right there next to the cap. And oil filter, until I get the new one out, goes bye-bye in this bag. Alright, so he's done. Oil filter is done. I'm not going to bore you guys. I'm going to pause again so I can just clean this out. Before I install the new oil filter, I'll catch back up with you. Okay, so time for the new oil filter. What I didn't show you guys is me just putting back in the oil drain plug. I figured, you know, that's kind of self-explanatory. So this is the stock oil filter for the KLR I'm going to be putting on right now. Once again, low tech, trying to do everything with one hand here. Let's see. There it is, out of the box. In a plastic bag, thank goodness it's not totally sealed. Take it out of the bag. I want to use some of the older oil. To dab and put on this seal and on this one. So let me set that right there. I'm gonna put my finger in here, dab around it. I hope you guys can see that. Just enough to get it wet, I guess. Around this side. Both sides are done. Now I'm gonna get that pin I was talking about. Remember this guy? So there is no left or right on this, or up or down. So let me put it in this way, and okay, so there's that. Now we're going back in. There's that small tapered end. I'm going back in. Kind of just sets in there. No real distinct snap or click or anything like that. I'm gonna check the gasket. I really want, see this rubber gasket? I'm gonna check that out real quick, making sure that it's serviceable. As I'm dripping all this all over my leg. This is nice. Yeah, that all looks good. So once again, I'm gonna only take that arrow up, and to save you guys some boarding time, and because I need both my hands, it's gonna get that seated in there. I'm gonna put the two 8mm back on there, and then we're gonna go with the filling it with oil. Oh, I had it facing the wrong way. Unfortunately, I ran into a little snag. I'm gonna have to run and get some motorcycle oil. What I did off camera was just have fastened everything back up. The drain plug is back in place. The cover for the oil filter is back in place. I want to show you really quick on disposing of oil though. So what I do, once I gather it into the pan like that, I put it in these bottles. I start saving these bottles if I come up to the, maybe I keep 3 or 4 of them on hand at a time. So when I go to pick up the oil, I just drop this off. I don't have to wait for them to drain it. I just give it to no, it's not simply orange juice. I just give it to the auto parts place, and they take care of it from there. So it just makes it easier, convenient. It's a nice sealed top, it pours in wide mouth, works real well. Up to you guys how you want to handle that recycling portion of it. I am going to have to take off my panniers off of the Tusk rack holders, because I'm going to be doing the air filter, which is right behind here. It's on this, there it is right there. So I'm going to be taking that off, so I'll show you a little bit on that when I come back. And when I come back, I'm going to take off I had to remove the tool tube. I can't believe how much extensive this is. So I had to remove the tool tube because these connector things that connect it to the bike actually was going under, it was looping through the I can't even think of these parts anymore. Highway peg engine guard here. It was linking through the, I want to say rock guard, but skid plate. We're linking through the skid plate. So I got to remove the skid plate. And the skid plate, when I come back after getting the oil, I'm going to remove the skid plate. There's some bolts here. So I'm going to wrap this up for now. Thanks a lot for your patience in watching this. Like I said, technologically, I'm learning about YouTube and filming along the same time as I'm learning about the motorcycle. So thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. I'll get back to you when I'm got the oil and I'll be working on the coolant. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, don't forget to ride, and remember, always, life's an adventure. Make your journey a good one.